The copper rockfish is named after the northwest wind. Hi, what's going on everybody? My name is Brandon. I'm a marine biologist and an artist, and welcome to Nature Meets Paper, the place where we go on an adventure to discover the world of marine biology. I love sharing my experiences with aquatic animals with you. It's my goal to raise awareness of our beautiful bodies of water and the creatures that live in them through science, stories, and art. Since it's April, I have a new charity that I'm hosting this month. Stick tuned to the end of the video to find out which one. If you are new to this community, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we're going to be discovering the copper rockfish. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Sebastes carinus, also known as the copper rockfish or copper sea perch, live along the North and East Pacific coast. A fun fact about its name is that carinus comes from the Latin word corus, or northwest wind. I find the naming convention of animals fascinating. They are typically Greek or Latin and just describe what it looks like or where it is. But this one, basically, rockfish from the northern winds. That's so cool. Copper rockfish are subtidal species that live from 10 to 183 meters. They can be found around rocky coastal waters or near kelp beds. They range from the Gulf of Alaska down to the coast past British Columbia into Washington, the Puget Sound, and down to Baja California. Copper rockfish are a marine fish, spending their whole lives in salt water. Juveniles can be found solitary or in small groups of other rockfishes near seagrass, sand, and rocks. Adults spend most of their time near rocky shelves and rocky substrate at deeper depths. This can include piers, wharfs, harbors, bays, islands, and so on and so on. A fun fact about copper rockfish is that they don't migrate. Once they choose a habitat or are born into that habitat, they will only migrate up to a mile away. So, what are we looking for when looking for a copper rockfish? This seems like a straightforward question until you realize that the copper rockfish comes in many colors and patterns. At one point, this species was thought to be several species. Genetic tests were conducted and it was determined that they were the same species. Even to this day, scientists are trying to determine if a red population in Southern California are genetically different in order to be considered a separate species. The copper rockfish are commonly dark brown, olive, or copper red in color. They have light cream to white bellies, mixed with splotches of color. This patchy coloration radiates backwards from the eyes and can be mixed with light yellow or light brown. They have several sharp spines along their dorsal fin that turns into soft rays. They have a flat wedge-shaped tail. They have a deep body with a large mouth. I would call it a rockfish body type. Most rockfishes have this deep body with large heads. Their pectoral fins are right above their pelvic fins. If you aren't familiar with a fish's anatomy, let's clear that up. Pectoral fins are typically right behind the gills, whereas pelvic fins are found on the ventral surface of the body. Their eyes are high on the head, and their mouth is low and large. How large do copper rockfish get? They commonly grow to a total length of 66 centimeters or 26.4 inches. They can live up to 50 years. The older a female becomes, the more offspring she can produce. In the field, we call them boffs, B-O-F-F-F-S, or big old fat fecund females. Rockfish are viviparous, meaning they produce live young. Males become sexually mature from 3 to 7 years, and females mature from 4 to 8. The gestation period for copper rockfish is 10 months. This means that they are slow to grow in population health. So that seems like a pretty good place to transition into our next segment of the adventure. What is the diet and population health of the copper rockfish? Let's start with diet. What do they eat? Juveniles feed on larvae of copepods and invertebrates. As they grow, they eat larger and larger prey. This includes small fish, crabs, squid, and octopus. They are prey to many animals including birds, lingcod, salmon, other rockfish, seals, and sea lions, as well as humans, of course. They have a firm meat that is delicious when cooked properly. So how are the copper rockfish doing? The IUCN Red List has them listed as not evaluated, which is surprising. It is fascinating to me that there are so many species out there that don't have a population health report. I guess it makes sense. There needs to be enough information collected in order to create a report. There are tons of animals out there and not a ton of scientists to fill out the paperwork or create a life history. There are fisheries for this animal. China has a large market for copper rockfish, and so does the Pacific Northwest. Speaking of the Pacific Northwest, let's head into my home area and discover my encounter with this animal. I live in Washington State and have been in and around the Puget Sound for my whole life. I have witnessed scientific trawls for several animals and have visited the Seattle Aquarium and as well as the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium. Both these aquariums have rockfish on display. This one was at the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium. It was an interesting angle and looked different from the other rockfish in the encounter. It was swimming slowly, trying not to be noticed. Rockfish like swimming in one place, and it looks like they are treading water. They like to hide along the substrate or near pillars or kelp. This one was kind of both. It had such nice features and colors. I like that you could see the whole animal, but it wasn't my standard side-on view. It was looking at me. I love this. It gives the animal a dynamic flow and personality without hiding key physical features from you. There was a diver in the encounter, and all the rockfishes were congregated in one side of the tank. This made it easy to scan and take photos of all of the different species of fish in one go. I love watching fish and how they behave. I also like learning and sharing what I find out about these animals with you. As I finish this painting and the story is wrapping up, so too does our adventure under the water. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, click subscribe and ring the notification bell to be notified when I post new content. I do my best to post every single weekend, but sometimes life gets in the way, or a piece is too detailed to finish in a week. So, like I said at the beginning of this video, I will be helping MS funds. Earlier in this month, I was participating in a MS walk. MS is a neurological disease that affects the way that your nerves and your spinal cord connect to the body. I'll leave a link down below so that you can help with that cause. Shawnee is one of my teammates. We swim together. It's a lot of fun. And if you can help her or help our cause, I think that'll be a lot of fun. I really want this community to be generous. I want us to volunteer our time. I want us to take care of each other. I want us to take care of this earth. And that all starts by giving back to charities, in my opinion. If you would like to support this channel so that I can continue creating content for you, you can buy my art in the forms of originals as well as museum quality prints. Now my originals will run you $12 a linear inch, that way it's by size, and my prints are also the same, but it's $6 and $3 a linear inch, depending on if you get an unlimited print or a limited edition. Now in May, Cinco de Mayo, I'm actually going to be around. I have purchased a vendor slot at the Cinco de Mayo in Redmond Festival. I would love to go see you guys. Come by, buy some art prints, just hang out. We can take selfies together, we can do whatever. It's just going to be a great day for Cinco de Mayo. I also entered for Klahaya Days. This is my local Snohomish festival that we host every year, kind of celebrating summer. I just signed up for that as well, so if you want to come out and see me then, that'd be awesome. I sell merchandise as well as apparel on teespring.com. I have a Patreon, but I haven't really used it very much. I probably should. But, you know, I just haven't gotten around to posting regularly there. Well, anyways, I've taken enough of your time. I've been Brandon, and I will see you in our next adventure.